brain from a thing, ain't shit changed. How you feel, how you feel, how you feel? 25 sitting on 25 mil, I'm in the building and I'm feeling myself. Rest in peace, Mac Dre. I'ma do it for the bay, okay? Getting paid, we'll holler whenever that stop. My team good, we don't really need a mascot. Tell Tune Light One, pass it like a relay. YMC and B, you niggas more YMCA. Me, Franny, and Molly Mall at the cribbo. Shot goes out to Nico J and Chubb, shot to Gibbo. We got Santa Margarita by the leader. She know even if I'm fucking with her, I don't really need her. Ah, that's how you feel, man, that's really how you feel. Cause the pimpin' nice cold, all these bitches wanna chill. I mean, maybe she won't, then again, maybe she will. I can almost guarantee she know the deal. Real nigga, what's up? Now she want a photo, you already know though. You only live once, that's the motto, nigga. YOLO, and we bout it every day, every day, every day. Like we sitting on the bench, nigga, we don't really play. Every day, every day. Fuck what anybody say. Can't see him cause the money in the way. Real nigga, what's up?
I'm that flight that you get on, international. First class seat on my lap, girl. Riding comfortable. Cause I know what that girl them need. New York to Haiti. I got lipstick stamps on my passport. You make it hard to leave. Been around the world, don't speak the language, but your booty don't need explaining. All I really need to understand is when you
talk dirty to me. You talk dirty to me. Dirty to me. Talk dirty to me. Get jazzy on it.
You know the words in my songs. No habla English. Our conversations ain't long, but you know what is. I know what that girl them want. London to Taiwan. I got lipstick stamps on my passport. I think I need a new one. Been around the world, don't speak the language, but your booty don't need explaining. All I really need to understand is when you
talk dirty to me. Talk dirty to me. Talk dirty to me. Talk dirty to me.
Aye, monster on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a free throw, man down, call like Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro, Nella nigga to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these jabroni ass niggas trying to see Compton? The industry can hate me, fuck them all and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walk him down whole time, I know he got some hoe in him. Pull on him, extort shit, bully the flow on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs. And party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baca got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 wop. That fuck him up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch, ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us, they not like us, they not like us. You think the Bay gon' let you disrespect Pop, nigga? I think that Oakland show gon' be your last stop, nigga. They cold foul, I don't know why you still pretending. What is the owl? Bird niggas and bird bitches, go. The audience not dumb, shape the stories how you want. Hey Drake, they're not slow. Rabbit hole is still deep, I can go further, I promise. Ain't there something B-Rest stands for bitchin'? You Malibu most wanted, ain't no law boy, you ball boy, fish Gatorade or something. Since 2009, I had this bitch jumping. You niggas will get a wedgie, be flipped over your boxes, or over your foe. The other vaginal option, pussy, nigga better straighten they posture. Got famous all up in contact, might write this with a doctor. Tell a pop star quit hiding, fuck a caption, won't action. No accident, I'm hands on, he fuck around, get polished. Fucked on Wayne Grow, he was in jail, that's conniving. Then get his face tatted like a bitch apologizing. I'm glad D-Rose came home, y'all didn't deserve him neither. From Alondra down to Central, nigga better not speak on Serena. And your homeboy needs subpoena, that predator moving flocks. That name gotta be registered and placed on neighborhood watch. I lean on you niggas like another line of walk. Yeah, it's all eyes on me and I'ma send it up the pot. Ay, put the road label on me, I'ma get them dropped. Ay, sweet chin music and I won't pass the ox. Ay, how many stocks do I really have in stock? Ay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. Ay, devil is a lie, here's 69 God. Ay, freaky ass niggas need to stay their ass inside. Ay, roll their ass up like a fresh pack of Zod. Ay, city is back not like us. They 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 not like us. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. Huh? They ain't talking about none. Aye. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. What they talking about? They ain't talking about none. Huh?
Shields up, raise your sword high. Knights clash under the sky. Victory or the battlefield's call. Bravery unite us all. Helmets gleam in the sunlight. Iron wills embrace the fight. Charge forth without a fear. Echoes of battle drawing near. Clouds collide in the haze. Battle cries break the maze. In this arena of might, only the bold take flight. Fight night, rise above the fray. Armored champions lead the way. In the clash of steel and bone, Ryan's roar will set the tone.
Welcome in, one and all. Oh my God, testing.
Furious dance, eyes locked in a fearless trance. Honor forged in every swing. Legacy the
We're gonna try that again. Welcome in, one and all, to another edition of Friday Night Fights. This time we have a rematch between Plumbville Plumbers and the Chiv Kartel. They will be doing a 20v20 rematch. Let's see here what the maps are going to be tonight. Looks like it's going to be Line Spire and then whatever map Plumbville chose. So we will be surprised. So they asked me if they should line up. I do like the pregame lineup. It looks like they're starting to assemble in the stands. CK bringing another versatile lineup. Let me see.
We appreciate the pageantry.
I'm trying to do a little bit of pageantry. So here we go. It looks like CK will be taking on the red bleachers today. Let's see who the starting lineups are for the Chiv Kartel. I'll give them another minute here to get organized here so I make sure I catch everyone. I'll give them another minute here. Okay. It does look like we have about 20, I would say. Who's this last? Okay, so starting lineups for the Chiv Kartel. NJ, Krita. I think NJ has been playing recently, and Chiv Kartel really, I think, deciding to bring out the big guns today. Krita, I think, has started making some content, so make sure you check him out and some of his Chivalry 2 content. We have Revenge, who we saw along with, oh my God, these people in their weird cryptic languages. I don't know. We're going to call him the Alien. CK Alien, they're all looking good in their black and gold. Stompin', Shroud, opting to go Vanguard. I'm liking the red and the blue. They are ready for both sides. Ratman, Engineering Extraordinaire, so it looks like they're bringing a real versatile lineup. Coco, haven't seen Coco in the lineup in a minute. Good to see Coco back. Coco is a killer, so that's really key for CK, I imagine. Alaric the Arcane, the versatile archer, and I think he uses maybe halberd or something. I don't know. Maybe glaive. Nildane, one of the top draft picks in the Meowie versus John Wick pencil. Doses, a recent discoverer of this stream. Happy to see him. Big in the League Wars, which I don't even know. Does anyone know who won League Wars? And then we have rounding up the lineup, Holy Armor, MJ Holy Armor of 40 player fame. CK Jambo. I don't know if Jambo might have been one of the more recent engineers. We have Omic, who I believe is he West Coast, but looking really good in that Malric skin. We have DC DSY. I don't know if that's someone else's name, as well as Sanctus. I think those might be some of the Delirium guys. I don't know, maybe one of them's Old Knight or something, but who's to say? So I think that is all of the CK members. Now, starting for Plumbville Plumbers, we have Plunger Jockey. I like that green. He's looking really strong in that kind of green Mongol horde look. Looking really good here. The Plumber 10X. I don't know if maybe that's his girth, but he's looking quite fashionable in that mask. But we have Bully. Oh, Bully looking really good in that black knight gear. Looking really strong. I like that red accent on the glove. That's a strong look. Here we go. PV Dread looking like he's about to free someone during the Revolutionary War. I think that man might have slown a Brit or two in his day. Then we have here Hemorrhoid. Hemorrhoid. I mean, who hasn't suffered a hemorrhoid in their day, right? Am I right? Drover. I can't. This other guy. Who is this guy? Drover. We have here Plunger Jockey again. Alex looking good in the green Tunosian gear. Denizen, I can finally read his name in with the XCX. Eruption, one of the old school. What was R? I can't remember what R is again, but Eruption definitely a big pickup for CK. I'm sorry, for Plumbville. Silver, another outstanding duelist. We have Bot Down. We're starting to lose him. Sant was one of the Paladins Argon, one of the top duelers, I think, in that whole tournament. Electrician, and at this point, who knows? So, all right, so they're looking good. At this point, we have the customary chaos on the Plumbville side. I think this is... I got to start with Plumbville next time, because I think if I take too long, they start to kill each other. So, CK now looking ready to go. The death and destruction has carried over to the other bleachers. So, we are going to get started here in just a minute. I assume they're going to start with Lionspire, so... Appreciate you joining me on BF6 Eve. I know I played a little bit earlier. It is quite an experience. So hopefully people don't forget about Chivalry 2 amidst all these new epic games. But I look forward to a strong rematch. Now, CK definitely going to want to even the score. I do believe... I'm going to turn off the speaker here. I do believe last time Plumbville may have taken it to him pretty strong.
The fall of Lions.
All right, so we are indeed starting with Lionspire. We're going to see who is going to be on what team. It looks like maybe... CK will be Mason, so CK will be starting on attack.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. And now,
It's time. man. All right, so round one about to begin. It does look as though, well, we're gonna switch here. Does look like we have, actually looks like, what is this, 21v21, so good numbers. This is a very thick middleweight bout, so I'm gonna say middleweight is anything up to 24, 25 and over is heavyweight. So I believe these two met at the middleweight level as well. I think they had 20v20, so this one going to be about the same. Can take a look at the lineups as the map gets underway. So Plumbville, interestingly, instead of running back to the catapult, you see Plumbville deciding to engage. We're going to follow Toilet Man as he looks for an opportunity to engage. He's going to go for a flank, although he is surrounded by that left side push. So we're going to see now with the respawn, if they choose to get the catapult in action, it does look like, well, interestingly enough, CK focusing primarily on that left side, and that right side catapult still has yet to move. So Toilet Installer waiting for someone to challenge that right side, but CK doing something a little bit different and opting... Oh, wow, what a shot by Flared Nuts. Dropping those big balls on the main force that was pushing the battering ram. Wow, another nice shot, taking out Coco and a few others. So, nice job by Plumbville, even though that first push didn't really seem to slow CK that much. You can see that right side battering ram just starting to move now. But the primary fight, CK looking like they're trying to push the left side of the left battering ram and are now going to start to close the distance to the catapult. So interestingly enough, we didn't see a lot after that initial barrage. Oh, I spoke too soon. Nice shot. But at this point, it looks like the battering ram has made it to just about inside the range, I think, of the catapult. So nice job by Plumbville now continuing to hold this right side and the catapult. But you can see now, I'm sorry, right side from their perspective. On the other side now, we have about a 3-man Krita, Ratman, and maybe Stompin', I think, pushing that right side. Now they're going to start to be challenged by Plumber and... Oh, Plumber and Denizen. Denizen quickly taken out by Michael on that ballista. Nice job, though, by Plumber. Wow, good job. Nice sort of duel there. K-Money taking out Plumber, then reviving his teammate Krita. So both of these battering rams making it towards the gate, but I believe the left side one, yes, is going to cross the intersection, and that right side one will stop. So at this point, Plumbville only trying to focus on stopping this left side ram. But you can see CK doing a nice job there, keeping it moving and keeping people around the objective. That catapult did a nice job taking out that entire spawn wave, it looked like, for Plumbville. So good job by Stompin', Crit, and a few others to push the objective the final few feet to the gates. So now we're going to be on to the next phase. I don't think Plumbville does not look like they're going to waste any time trying to keep the catapult down. It looks like they're going to concede this objective. So they look like they may be ready to move on to the town square. That is obviously the critical point oftentimes for the defense. So, you know, I guess with this much time, maybe they're just going to opt for a sort of standard defense and kind of wait for the next objective. And it looks like we are on to the town square. To follow some of the attackers here. Carpenter trying to slow down the attackers is struck down by Revenge. So we're going to follow Ratman here as he follows the main CK advance. Looks like they are going to move up perhaps the left side. Nope. A little pivot here back to the center. So they're going right up the center gut with the main attack. Plumbville looks like they have fallen back to the town square and are awaiting. Yeah, we're picking up a few of the remaining defenders that had not made it back are struck down. So CK really rolling right now, about a 40 kill advantage. So not too bad. Plumbville still taking out some of the attackers, but pretty good time so far on phases 1 and 2. Crowd getting excited for the battle in the town square. You can see the blood running red at the main attack point, right at the middle. So Plumbville doing a good job picking up the very first wave of Mason attackers. Now you can see the reinforcement wave for CK now starting to gather on the center attack path here. Again, they're just going to choose to perhaps death ball right up the middle rather than using some of their normal feints, I believe. So I'm just going to see here just to see. Yeah, it does look like that's a pretty solid group of 20. So you can see here, nice sort of distribution for the Plumbville defenders, you know, around the main entry area. You can see a couple of the attackers, NJ and a few others doing, it looks like 17, Jambo, and doing a nice job actually flanking, getting behind the main Plumbville line. I thought they might get struck down, but you can see they're bloodied but still alive, maintaining numbers on the point. The red and black of the Masons flying, but you can see now as the reinforcements arrive for Agatha, that shifts back to the blue and white. Nice counter push with 6 minutes. You're still going to see the reinforcement waves from Agatha come from this sort of closer side. So they have another minute until the attack wave shifts.
What's up, can I join?
Hey, welcome in. No, this is a clan match between CK and Plumbville, a rematch at the, looks like 21v22. I don't know what Botdown's doing. He's been spectating. But we are in the first map here as CK once again re-enters the town square. Nice push here. But Plumbville, at this point, they seem to be very confident. This is now the third time CK has pushed right up the gut. That second push did get very deep into the town square, but Plumbville, as you can see, manages to push back. So with this third attack, it does look like a lot of the attackers have fallen. You see Larcer, Shroud, Michael. Didn't see Larcer. We may have missed him in the pregame picture, but he's another veteran and very crafty situation-based player for CK. So you can see now CK attack has pivoted to their left side. Dread with the one-handed spear doing a good job patrolling as that guardian. Don't see any banners, but right now it doesn't appear that they really need any. So once again, we're going to see if we can't follow someone on the attack here. Let's follow the Halloween-inspired MJ Holy Armor as they join the attack here, going now on the right side flank with that longsword, working in tandem with, you can see about the main, kind of taking up that right side of the line, but working with about 5 or 6 other CK attackers to kind of push that front to the defensive barriers for Plumbville. Now the highly contested ammo crate is definitely the destination. You can see Holy Armor still now with that one-handed sword, just trying to do some damage, doing a good job staying alive Just commentator's curse, though, unfortunately, as I mentioned, is struck down by the defenders. But right now, it does look like the Masons have control of the town square. You can see the red and black Mason flag slowly representing the slow build of the bar for the town square. It does look like the progress is pretty slow. So if this Agathian wave by Plumbville can get into the town square, they may be able to stop it. Yeah, it looks like they have temporarily changed it to blue and white. You can see that bar hanging on by a thread. This is a key moment for Plumbville here. This is really big. The CK attackers have still about 2.5 minutes, but they want to sort of stay alive. They're probably going to have 1 or 2 more pushes, depending on how much of this bar they lose. So, nice job by Plumbville as that bar was about to be full, changing the town square in their favor. You can see they are falling back here, trying to set up defense again. The barriers are back up. So with 2 minutes left and probably about 10% of that bar, this is going to be a key push here by CK. See if we can get to someone in the action. Follow once again. Holy Armor. So nice job. We're going to follow the front here. Very nice job. You can see as CK advance, they're all covering each other's flanks. No one's getting really too far. Nice counterattack, though, by the Plumber 10X. Not enough, though, as CK does take the town square objective with about 1.5 minutes left. So nice job. Both teams, that objective changed hands probably about 15 or 16 times. So, you know, that was actually very, very nice counter push by Plumbville to buy a little bit of time. So we're going to see if that time does trickle down on the subsequent objectives. 8 minutes, though, is a lot of time for the attackers to regain control of the time clock here. So we're going to see how effective as the initial attack, Coco, NJ, DC, a few others are. Nildane, you can see they're pushing on the barriers. Those barriers fall, but you can see it's bought enough time for Plumbville to counterattack here and kind of reinforce that line. So as the barriers are stood up, fire pots wreaking havoc on both teams. You can see both teams on fire, but these knights continue to battle. This just makes every hit that more critical when everyone's taking that fire damage. It just means they're going to go down faster. So whoever can land that first hit is really going to have that advantage. Follow Omic here, choosing to rock the medium shield with that Warhammer. So opting to go highly mobile. In fact, he's using it on his back. So he's going to be very quick. Nice job there as he tries to hold. Oh, wow. Nice job. Nice job. Who was that? Sant jumping in there with that Messer. Taking those huge swings. Doing a good job to counterattack this Gallows. But you can see... Oh, wow. Look at the punch. Sant's getting back up. Gets a natural flank. I don't think they realized... Oh, someone did see that was indeed Coco. Finally puts him down. So nice job by Sant to come back on the ground, winning that kind of downed punching duel that I know we've all been in. So managed to do a little bit of damage. So, but with about 2 minutes gone, CK now in control of the ladders. They have the right and left side ladder up, waiting for that second ladder to be put up here on the left side. Plumbville looking like they are spreading their defense out. I do think they're perhaps going a little bit more on the... No, it looks like they're spread pretty evenly, actually. So we'll see how long this lasts. It is harder to defend more than one. In fact, they did not see Revenge, who comes up in the rear, making those barriers useless. Wow. So even though they set up defenses, it was the other side CK takes advantage of and takes down the banners virtually at the same time. Well done by CK. Nice job by Revenge with that axe, chopping down that banner like it's an old tree. You can see him also advancing to the trebuchet. Looks like we have Shark, who manages to light the left side explosive. Nice counterattack. Some of the Plumbville defenders trying to defuse, but unfortunately unable to both defuse and defend themselves. Maybe I spoke too soon, though. As a couple more come in, they do defuse the right side. So nice job by Flared Nuts and a few others. Flared Nuts is on my friends list. I think I know who that is. I'm not going to blow him up, though. So on the right side, though, it does look like CK has spent most of their attack. Larcer making sure that no one is going to defuse the right side with 430. That explosion will add another 30 seconds to the timer, so they're going to have to see now. All right, so as they mop up the rest of the defenders, Coco and a couple others take care of the Union Rep. The Plumbville Union Rep, perhaps the most important member. Make sure that the Plumbville Plumbers get them bennies. So, nice job by the Union Rep to hold out till the bitter end. So now CK turns their attention to the left side. Nice flank by Michael getting in there. That Warhammer really devastating to those Knights with that bonus damage. Nice counter attack by Bully, though, to stop that rampage and allow that flanker to be removed, essentially allowing that front to kind of reestablish without needing to have someone whack them in the back with a big with a bonk hammer. So nice job by Bully to reestablish control. With 3:54 left, CK really is going to have to find a way. I like how Plumbville, instead of fighting on both levels, they are on this upper level. They're almost treating it like a kind of a three pathway thing. I kind of like this. Sorry for the shoddy camera work here. So as they push, Plumbville opting to try to slow down the attack on the second level. I do like that. They've managed to create enough space so even as CK gets some of the kills, none of them are in position to light the trebuchet and score that critical second capture. So Plumbville looking very, very composed as they reestablish their front line here. Once again, on the staircases, barriers are back up again. Going to buy them a little bit of time, not necessarily space, but it does help them establish that line in the sand that they don't want the Masons to cross. So you can see Coco, Shark, DC, all collapsing on now that front focal point of the front line. Nice barrier by Plumbville. The defense is bending a little bit here on the left side. They haven't yet broken. Nice job by the engineer. Carpenter, no, who's that? Eruption. He doesn't see his teammate, but I think Electrician is going to bring up his friend. I think, though, they're going to have to kind of reestablish control here as some of those defenders pivot to that back side. You can see it created a little bit of space for CK. However, they were not able to take advantage of it. That line eventually succumbing to too many cuts. So now CK has its work cut out for them. As time is getting low, they're going to get an extra 30 seconds if they can cap this. But Plumbville making a pretty strong statement here on defense. You can see they're very disciplined. None of them are, well, you see a couple here might be bleeding out, but they're not getting too far. They're not trying to control too much space, opting instead to kind of control this upper level. I do like that strategy. Hey, Mr. J, I don't know. So here we go. Wow, so 1 minute left. Plumbville looking ironclad as they hold back CK. So CK is really going to have to make, I mean, it's do or die at this point. They're going to have to push. Nice flanking maneuver by Coco, jumping up on that wall. Coco on fire, trying to push, create some room, is struck down. Once again, the Plumbville defense bends but does not break. Look at all the Guardians. They've managed to also, it looks like they've spread out their banners actually pretty evenly. So that banner efficiency, I will say, might have had a little bit of to do. I don't know. They had a few banners before, but nice job here by Silver, a few others. Wow, so nice job. Very impressive defense on that last stage. It's very hard, given the distance that this trebuchet is from the reinforcement spot. You can see how far they actually have to run. So the fact that Plumbville was able to keep numbers in front of that trebuchet for that long really speaks to the fact that the ones that were staying alive for quite some time and bought the time for the reinforcements to then keep that line strong. So very nice job by Plumbville. So looks like we're back to dual yard. I don't know if that is a error. What the hell? Interesting. All right, so it looks like we are going to rotate. Yes, so you know what we forgot to do. I hope you all have your beverages, have your snacks. Time to refresh. They're going back to Line Spire for round 2. We're going to see what Plumbville can do on offense now. CK, was looking very dominant there and just looked like they might have run out of gas there right at the very end. So very nice performance by both teams, but Plumbville really, really holding on there at the end. And that is very impressive to win on the lower trebuchet. So nice job. So we will see now what Plumbville decides to do, and if CK is going to use some of their tested defensive tactics or if they're going to do something new. We will see. All right, so that's got to be Dadler. That's the person who types that. So here we go. On to round 2. So immediately we can see a slightly different strategy as CK decides to fall back to the catapult. Maybe a couple of... Actually, they sort of split up. Maybe NJ, Holy Armor, a few others deciding to try and slow up some of the attackers. Eventually are taken down, but this now has created a bit of space now, and so we have it's like about 3 different groups. So about 4 attackers on the left ram, 3 or 4 attackers on the right ram, and then the rest are bringing up the rear here, coming up the middle. So interesting tactic by Plumbville. There goes the first shot by Larser, taking out friend and foe alike on that left side. But you can see here now on the attacker left side perspective, they have made it up to the catapult. They are opting to do some damage, perhaps taking it down first. Catapult is still up and running though, does get another shot, but most of those Plumbville attackers have sort of moved past the ram, and I don't think that shot took anything out. So the catapult does go down. You can see Plumbville opting to kind of fight here in these sort of 1 and 2 person fights. So this might be playing into the fact that a lot of them are very strong individual one-on-one fighters, perhaps doing some LTS, used to sort of these small 2-on-2, 3-on-3 kind of battles. So Plumbville doing a really nice job to sort of divide and conquer and pretty much push this left ram all the way up to the gate. Still probably about 10 meters or so. 15 feet for you Americans. Well, I'm an American too. So nice job though, CK now reestablishing control of the ram, getting those barriers up. We're going to see what does the catapult look like. Now I do think yep, you can see now from the arrow hole, from that murder hole, you can see that siege crossbow doing work, eliminating the catapult. So very quick work. It looks like they might only have one. No one is... Oh, actually shoots flared nuts. So interesting work by the siege crossbow person. I liked how they did that. Flared nuts got off the catapult, handed it over to whoever that was. Plunger Jockey, who now joins the attack using that war club.
CK Michael.
Spectate CK Michael. Why is he doing something cool? Let's see here. He might be dead. We can't.
No, that's just my boy.
Oh, that's just your boy. He's had a lot of great plays. I thought maybe you knew he was doing something cool. He's had some great plays so far. So we've seen a lot of CK Michael. So just stay tuned, and I'm sure you're going to see more of him. More of him here in a second here. So PV doing a nice job, though, getting people around the ram, posing a threat. All you really need is to get some bodies on the cart. You can see that was a nice job by whoever that was attacking, kind of drawing the defenders away from the objective. That second wave of Plumbville plumbers move in, plunge the battering ram to the door. And you can see now they're going to do some plunging. Yes, that's what they do best. Plunging the plunger. Oh, wow. Another shot by the plumber jockey takes out the left side defense and offense alike. Eruption and plumber. You can see the plumbers doing the plumbing. Taking a second shot to the city gates here. Pretty much now you can see CK, instead of just giving up this point, doing their best to slow down how long Plumbville takes to complete the city gates, though. But the plumbers all taking their turn with the plunger. They all have paid their union dues. Fire cannot stop them. Rocks cannot stop them. The plumbers will plunge. Well, maybe it will stop them, but only temporarily. Now, good job by the defense to take advantage, but those now large catapult boulders doing the work. Only one shot needed, so a little bit of plunging, a little bit of rock throwing. We're going to see it's got to be Larser. Yeah, Larser still in there doing work on that catapult, but eventually the gate does fall as that boulder lands. So instantly CK is falling back to the town square. We're going to see what kind of defense they set up. All of the plumbers throwing everything but the kitchen sink at the defenders who are retreating back to the town square. Getting a couple kills. Michael now. Fan favorite Michael on. Oh, the Michael was removed from. Sorry, we're a little bit behind there. Michael was on the ballista, but is no longer on the ballista. So Plunger Jockey is now leading the charge as they make it to the town square. Looks like Plumbville opting for more of a single file formation, or I should say, formation, I guess, right? As they move past the lion that's taking a dump, the statue of the lion taking the dump, they move to the left side, quickly set up a front line, but CK now doing a nice job. You can see they like to heavily fortify the ammo crate. Looks like we have, it's got to be 2 or 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3. That's got to be at least, what the heck? Is that 3 engineers or 2? I guess it's 2 engineers. So CK running with 2 engineers and have said that is going to be our second line of defense, as the main line here is spread out along the outer edge of the objective being the circle area here. You can see the floor is in the shape of a circle. Why the town square is a circle, that is a question for the ages. So once again, Plumbville now moving on this left side, engaging directly with the wall. You can see Coco stepping in front of the wall, deciding that it's better to give up a little bit of flesh to provide a little more time. Welcome in, Barbarians. We are in round 2 of CK versus Plumbville. Plumbville did put on an impressive defensive performance in round 1, winning in the first set of trebuchets on defense. Plumbville is now on attack. They had, as of yet, been unable to make much progress on the town square, but you can see they momentarily have moved the bar up to about 25%. But CK, you can see the blue and white banner of Agatha once again flying high around the town square, signifying that the defense does have more numbers than the offense. That bar slowly creeping back down. So you can see once again Plumbville renewing their attack. Nice job by the CK engineers. That's got to be Ratman and is that Krita maybe? Putting up those defensive walls again, buying more time for Shark. You can see that gives him some time and space to heal up. Staying alive, just as important as getting kills on this stage, as it's a numbers game. So right now you can see offense sort of trading kills. You see a couple of kills. Yep, 1 for red, 1 for blue, 1 for Architect takes down Shroud. Not the famous Shroud. This is a Chivalry Shroud. He let us know last match. Architect, oh, here's a nice, we have about a 7 or 8 kill advantage for the Masons as they finally whittle down that defense with 4.5 left. You're going to see now the respawn coming from the other side. Nice job by CK getting people on the point, but this is a critical fight here. Masons still have control. You can see 17 joining the fight with Sanctus. Unfortunately, though, it does not look like they are able to stay alive long enough to regain control. Still a few Agathians doing what they can to carve out some space in the town square. But Plumbville secures control and is able to retain control of the town square. So they are really cruising, probably inspired by that big win on defense. But right now we're going to follow Plumber 10X as he joins the attack, takes out Sanctus, and joins the rest of the plumbers. You can see heavy maces all around, 4 heavy maces. So really going for that shock and awe factor against knights and men-at-arms. So these kind of hulking behemoths that are these Plumbville knights are really opting to go for massive damage. So you can see Plumber taking a lot of damage, but doing a lot of damage before he's finally struck down. MJ, Holy Armor, in the middle of that CK defense, continues to just stab with that long sword as quickly as possible. The stab being so powerful. It basically should be the slash. MJ, though, you can see how quickly MJ Holy Armor moves through the defense, trying to push back that left side, creating a little space. Nildane, I believe, brings back 17 from the brink of death. Nice job by CK working as a team here. They really need to try and take some time off the clock to see if they can maybe replicate some of that defensive success that Plumbville had in round 1. Interesting 2-tiered wall. I like that. As that front wall goes down, they have that second wall now continuing to block access to that ammo crate. Engineers continue to replenish those walls. Stompin' doing a good job to keep that push from Plumbville to make it around the wall, kind of exposing the flank. The gallows, another strategic point. I haven't seen Plumbville try the spike trap trick yet to try and get up there. Instead, opting to sort of fight in this area. You can see some of the CK defenders. Looks like they're jumping down to do flanks, but I actually think that is sort of playing into the hands of Plumbville. It's almost like they're willing to fight here. Then once enough of those CK defenders have jumped into flank, you can see they have a little bit of numbers advantage, and now they are checking to see how far they can push this front line. Can they threaten this ammo crate? It does look like they have managed to do that. In fact, nice job. You know, the Masons, in typical fashion, they're hitting each other as much as they're hitting the Agathians. Bloodied, though, you can see again that so many heavy maces, right? And war clubs. You can see a lot of high damage to knights weapons that Plumbville is rocking. So very nice tactics. You know, I don't know if this is dedicated, but from what I'm seeing, I think the fact that they're doing this more methodical approach is actually doing a good job picking up the
when you need a great defense against odor and funky bugs, trust Axe Body Spray.
Yes, Axe Body Spray now in several flavors. War Axe Musk.
Back to you, Velvet.
Thank you, Zamboni, for our sponsor. I meant to ask earlier between round 1 and round 2, but Axe definitely makes a lot of sense. Wow, Sant and who's that? Sunbelt Rentals. What kind of names are these? Doing a good job actually using that staircase, the same tactic that CK used on attack. So it looks like CK opting to defend. Wow, Flared Nuts, though, running in with that great sword. It was almost like they didn't see Flared Nuts. Flared Nuts taking out that last banner. So Plumbville wasting no time. I thought CK looked like they might have had the beginnings of a good defense there on the left side, but Plumbville making short work here. So now CK deciding to defend the front right from their perspective, similarly to how Plumbville did as well. Plumbville sending maybe a small force, looks about like 4 or 5 people on the right. The rest of their force pushing the lower level of the left side trebuchet. Looks like they're going to fan out to take over the entire area. And now you can see, yep, looks like just like in round 1, CK now opting to try and cut off access to that second level. But you can see a lot of the reinforcements sort of running on this lower track. Good, they did not get stuck, but Plumbville now, I think Sant may have been able to plant that. We're going to see if any of the CK defenders can get on the point. Does not look like they can. So Plumbville in control here of the second trebuchet. Very nice job.
I had to
CK now. CK now with the counterattack. Sanctus looking like he almost gets the defuse. Too much damage taken by that fire pot. I don't know. Is anyone defusing? You can see some of the CK members. Oh, they did defuse it. So someone, I didn't see who defused it, but it did buy a little bit of time now with 420 though. Plumbville once again plants the fuse. It's going to go a little bit faster here every time it's lit. So now Plumbville opting to control this backside, trying to deny access to the reinforcements. Yep. So another 30 seconds. Oh, Jester, welcome in. Yeah, this is a Friday Night Fights. Try to do it whenever there are battles. So this is a nice rematch here. Now, oh, nice job. Nice push. Bot down. Instantly pushing with, who is it? Flared Nuts and Toilet Man. These names, I can't, man. They're pushing that right side. It looks like they have established control of the right trebuchet. You can see probably about half of the Plumbville force has moved over. Looks like they want to guarantee that that explodes. I'm going to assume that's not enough time for that one defender to defuse that. So this is it for... Wait, let's speak too soon. No, okay, there it goes. So plenty of time for the attackers. 4 minutes. This is a tall order. You can see now CK fighting on this lower level, trying to deny access for as long as possible to that second level. Looks like the Plumbville attackers are coming in from all angles. Plumber leading sort of the attack here on the right side, continues to do a lot of damage with that heavy mace until he is hit in the face by Michael with the Warhammer, and his run is over for now. Sanctus doing his best with that great sword to deny access to the trebuchet. Nice job there, striking down 1, 2, 3, doing his best, drawing attention from the attackers. Eventually succumbs to a friendly fire pot. Unfortunate. Nildane trying to deny access to that front side. Fortunately, Sanctus moved in. Someone has planted. I think it might have been bot down. Does plant that trebuchet. Nice. Oh, wow. Nice job by Union Rep following up the defuse attempt. CK now swarming. It does look like they have managed to defuse. Wow, nice job by CK, though. It was looking pretty bleak there for a second. However, if Plumbville can plant this again, this fuse is going to be even shorter. So nice job by Ulrich. Somehow one of the Plumbville attackers has managed to plant the fuse. Here comes the second wave. I can't tell who is defusing and who's not. So someone defused. Now Plumbville once again has lit the fuse. Now CK has defused. Here comes the toilet installer trying to install the fuse one more time. You can see who's that, Shark and a few others trying to get in position to defuse. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. Nice job by Plumbville. I think this fuse will be a bit shorter. You can see I don't think any of the CK defenders. So with about 135 left in the round, Plumbville takes the second round. Plumbville up 2-0. Very nice performance by both teams once again. So, Zamboni, do we have another halftime sponsor as we wait to see what map will be round 3? Here we go to the duel yard. Refresh your drinks. Refresh your food, your snacks. Smoke them if you got them. Now is the time for vices. We will be right back for round 3.
Add Zamboni 416 Helldivers 2 and hopefully after I beg my GF enough BF6. Ah, cool. I'm a sober clown now. But I support the party chat. PV up 2-0.
So we may have to, I think they might have to reload the server. Let me see, make sure they are not done.
EC's plumbers charging parts and labor. XD. I'd like to say a happy Thanksgiving to our Canadian viewers out there.
Thanks, Sam Bunny. When is Canadian Thanksgiving?
This weekend.
Well, I echo that sentiment. Happy Thanksgiving to all our Canadian friends.
Canada eating good this weekend, lucky bastards.
Do you eat lots of poutine?
I bought a giant pumpkin pie. I mean it's friggin' big.
All right, I just received word the server is coming back up, so please stand by.
Blades clash in the midnight light. Armored shadows in the fight.
I like how we do it earlier like this.
Fueled by ancient might. Night
Hug it. Chug it. Chivalry baby.
steel sings with a thunder's roar. Each strike and the crowd wants more. Honor bound on the blood-soaked floor. Holding fast to legend's core. Fight night, raise your swords up high. Fight night, reach for the sky. Battle cries pierce through the night. Fight night, live and die. Banner waves and shields collide. Heroes rise and
You put any of these songs on Spotify or whatever the thing is called?
No, not yet. Although I was talking to some other creator for a different game who had some really impressive songs that he created in part with Suno, whatever. And that's what he does. He said he publishes them on Spotify. It's pretty cool.
I'd be curious to see how they'd chart. I saw that people are creating AI bands.
Yeah, I think that's going to be... Or AI-assisted songs at the very least. All right.
Assisted, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. And now, it's time!
So it looks like we will be on the Raid of Aberfell. I like it. All right. We're going to see who is on attack. It looks like CK will be on attack. I don't think we've seen Aberfell. I can't remember the
We
last
spared
time
no
these
expense
teams have
tonight.
played.
And have Bruce Buffer.
Yes, well, I had to spend all of my my Bezos bucks to get him, but it was worth every penny. I don't know that have we seen Aberfell lately? I can't remember actually. This will be interesting. All right, so we will see now what is going to be the strategy of the attacking and defending team. I cannot recall seeing this. You know what? I really can't recall ever streaming a CK match where they played Aberfell, so this will be interesting. So we're going to try and follow someone here. Doses. Looking like he's going to guard the initial push at this
I was just
initial
about to say that.
pig pen here. Okay, looks like he's going to take an interesting strategy of throwing the pigs into the path of the respawn.
I like this
Now
choice.
locked in the duel with Plumber, although is struck down in the back by a teammate. Cryptid Anomaly. I think we may have missed him in the warm-up as well, but really taking the defenders to task with this with his greatsword, although too many defenders, you're not going to win a 1v4 against these talented Plumbville defenders. Now we're going to follow, though. You can see CK now managing to control the ship. Some of the pigs, though, fail to land in scoring position, perhaps getting interrupted on the way in a glitch. So if they can actually be grabbed, you're going to see CK actually... Yeah, I don't know if they can be grabbed, actually. Plumbville, though, with a nice counterattack. Although, who was that who took out like 3 people? NJ might have taken out like 3 in one blow there. So that is why he is such a highly respected player. Taking out another defender, throwing his battle axe. NJ now continuing to move his rampage through the defense. Nice job. Sure, I'm muting myself.
Pig's stuck on the 1-yard line.
Yeah, the pig, sometimes it gets stuck, right? So you can see one of them was picked up maybe, but this one looked like it might have been glitched. So now here comes Larcer doing the Lord's work, carrying the pig anus to the ship, scoring another capture for CK. Now CK opting to push their front line to the left side to take control of this side of the ship. So as you can see, as they push the defenders, oh wow, unfortunate respawn. It looked like they had sent a couple people to go collect the pigs, but a Mason push forces them to abandon that idea. Then they're struck down. Some now K-Money, Nildane, and DC, though,
I believe
cleaning up the pieces as Ratman now carries and Noose. Yes, that's the proper French pronunciation. Anus. Coco doing a good job there. Eventually, though, taken down by Union Rep. Union Rep really doing a lot of damage with that pole arm. Is that a pole hammer? Does, though, get taken out by Coco. So nice battle, though. Nice battle between those two. Krita and NJ working together. One passes the pig to the other. Yeah, so I think they eventually, Larcer may have unglitched that pig. So now all the pigs have made it to the boat. Just need to score one more peasant or pig with 4 minutes left. Plenty of time. So I don't know that I can really tell the strategy other than I liked that push off the boat to reestablish control of that side. Why do I hear myself? All right, I know why, and now it won't do that. So here we back on the Drain Snake. I feel like these guys changing their names between rounds because it's like new people all the time. Bot down. Leading the defense here with that workload, though, swallowed up by this push by CK. They are on the base of the hill there, moving up to the tower. So nice sort of push here. That's really all they've had to do. Not much in the way of strategy that I can tell so far. PV now establishing a little bit of a line here on this left side of the tower, but it's not enough as the CK War Machine continues to move forward now, controlling the right side. You can see it looks like NJ is going to kind of guard it. Nope, now it looks like...
The strategy is balls to the wall, I believe.
Yeah, I would say so. They're really just moving 100 miles an hour in a straight line. They're holding the W key hard. So far it's working, though, this sort of strategy. to overwhelm the defense on the side. I think PV may be unsure how to properly kind of defend this objective. You can see now you have a barrier on the right side that is kind of denying. Well, I don't know if it's denying anything because you can plant it here, but at least gives them room to defuse. It does look, though, like PV now has managed to eventually thin out the ranks. So I may have spoken too soon as they defuse the tower, though. You can see after this map was changed, I think if any of your OGs, you'll remember that the way this map used to be, if you defused both, it went back to 0. But now when you get to 50%, it stops there. And, well, not now, but they changed it pretty early on, right? So now it's a little bit easier if the attackers can plant. Once again, they don't have to go the full bar. But PV now looks like they figured out how they want to defend this objective. Looks like they're going to deny the space in front of the left objective and then perhaps try to buy a little space for diffusing on the right. So, interesting tactic. Kind of using kind of the minimal, like looks like maybe one engineer's worth of defense. So we're going to see what CK does now as PV has sort of set up their defensive formation. All right, how do y'all pronounce this guy's name? Can someone please tell me? Omega, Alpha, Ray? Omega, no, Theta? What? Someone tell me. Is that Car Rash? I don't know. So CK now pushing up. Once again, though, it doesn't look like many have made it to the top of the hill.
English that good as it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not special enough. All right, so nice job by Shark. Looks like they're using the walls of PV to kind of carve out some space for them. I believe Dread realized that, takes out the walls, now essentially creates more space for the PV defenders to come in and defuse. Sheriff trying to defuse, looking like Sunbelt Rentals doing some defense. Now Alex getting the defuse in. Nice job by his teammates. But here you can see Cryptid Anomaly once again lighting the fuse. This left side fuse is actually also lit. It's about to explode. Nice job by CK. To take that tower, we are off to the hamlets. Electrician as the guardian. I like, you're going to need some guardians here in addition to your engineers. I see 2, 3, 4 guardians. So I like that mix. Looks like you have a pretty decent mix here. 1 engineer, 4 guardians, and then several knights with these heavy maces and vanguards with these either war clubs. I don't know. It's actually a really nice mix here that PV's running. But the standard issue seems to be the heavy mace, and it's really worked well as, you know, these shock troops. They're almost like these heavy shock troops that come in and just, they trade blows. So even though they take a lot of damage, they deal a lot of damage, and I would guess that even though the kills, well, this round's been a bit different. I would say the last map, Line Spire, I think they were really doing a lot of damage. This seems to be a bit more even. I'd say CK doing a good job sort of getting back to some of their fundamentals of team play. And they're just sort of playing the game here. I don't see any sort of a lot of tactics going on here. So I agree with Jester. This is just sort of a balls to the wall attack now. And it's going to be a numbers game in the hamlet. This is actually deceivingly difficult, right? I think plenty of people, if you've played this game, you've been in a situation where you feel like you have the numbers, but the bar doesn't move. However, in this case, though, early on, it does look like, so you can see that Agathian flag, the white lion on the blue field, raised high on the battlefield. That is slowly up. You can see now it is changed back to the Mason Eagle with the red and gold. Nice counter push by PV. We're going to follow Dread here for a second. He switches to the one-handed mace, which also does do a lot of damage to these knights. He is, though, gets a little bit too deep, taken out by a flanking move by Revenge, playing Vanguard here, perhaps maybe wanting to be a little bit less susceptible to some of that bonus damage. In fact, you can see perhaps I do see maybe a bit more Vanguard, if I'm not imagining things. Doses was always going Vanguard. So still a nice mix by both teams. Now we see there's Michael, fan favorite Michael. Oh, unfortunately, just as I found him, he is struck down, working that left side flank with the two-handed hammer. Sheriff patrolling the barriers. It does look like there's still PV rocking, still maybe one engineer. So the 2 out of the 4 now, that third barrier falls. CK not overextending, though. It looks like they're choosing to sort of fight here by their banner. Probably a good plan. This is just like that town square. You need to make sure you maintain your lives as much as you do getting kills. So good job by Nildane to fall back there and heal. Does get a kill, so good job. We can see 3 blue kills followed by a red. The kill slowly moving in Agatha's favor here, but every third kill seems to be bot down, getting a couple kills there in a row. Nice job. But you can see now CK continues to rack up the kills. Electrician, fortunately, gets burned for him. Unfortunately for him, gets burned as he's fighting to defend the hamlet. Agatha now with 330, doing a great job holding the hamlet here. So they are just moving to the center area by the banner. I think they are still maintaining control. I wasn't sure if it was going to change to the Mason flag. But nice job. Once CK finally established control of that center area, they didn't overextend. They didn't throw away lives. You can still, there's still quite a few Plumbville defenders. So good job. That's really what you need to do on that point, is stay alive. So interesting, you can see Plumbville going all in on defense of the second stone. As the Agatha attack reaches the first stone, you saw a couple of the Masons looking like they were going to run in, maybe try to slow up. Plumber trying to get in there with his one-handed hammer, trying to maybe deny a little bit the push on the stone, but they are actually now going to successfully push it over. Now this is really in pubs, I think winning this map really oftentimes comes down to how well you defend the second stone, right? So I think the second stone, if Plumbville can defend it for the next, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes, that might be enough time to for them to hold on the stone stage, or at the very least leave very little time for the druids at the end. Hemorrhoid holding off the right side attack from the defenders' point of view. Nice barrier distribution by Eruption. Try to there's still lanes for the defenders to fall back, but it becomes a bit easy for defenders to hit attackers that are trying to slip through. So nice formation. All right, this guy, Fader, Omega, whatever. Orak. Toilet installer. Installing some toilets. So good job doing some hit and run tactics just like you would want your Danax Vanguard to do. Bot down has really been using that War Club all night with getting quite a lot of kills. It's high risk, high reward though. You can see nice push there by, who was that? Omek? I think it was Omek snuck in and got a push on the stone. So I believe you need 3 pushes in total per stone. I don't know that they see. Nope, they did see. Ratman stomping, trying to sneak around. So 1 push on the stone, but nice job by Plumbville clearing the space in front of the stone. Another attempt by K Money. I don't think he got a push, but managed to actually get as close as to touch the stone. Dread now playing some strong defense. Oh, wow. As the Guardian, again, Commentator's Curse struck down. You can see that worked just into the favor of the PV defense. There was just enough room for that attacker to slip through and then was struck down from behind. So nice job. We're going to see, can the engineers restore these barriers? Here comes Eruption once again. Is able to get 1 barrier down, but NJ able to sneak through, kind of disrupt the placement. Does damage. The engineer is now on fire. Is he going to be able to live? No, he is alive. Taking more fire damage, but getting those barriers down. Continues to stay alive. Nice engineering play here by PV. So they have taken quite a bit of time off of the timer. 350, still a lot of time, but CK gonna need to group up here and get another push, or perhaps at the very least see if they can't sneak someone through in the chaos. So I will say the one, okay, there's a trap. So I was gonna say the one drawback leaving space there is that you leave yourself open to someone sneaking through. So there we go. That trap is triggered. Now, though, we're going to see, though, it didn't actually kill. Revenge actually makes it through. Revenge and Shroud able to get a push. Shroud sneaks in, though, gets the 3rd push. Oh, maybe it's more than 3 if they're not full pushes. There we go. Shark finishing off the stone. So still enough time. That was good defense by Plumbville. But with an additional 30 seconds added to the clock, 3:30 still should be enough time for CK to be able to collect the final 3 stones. But anything can happen. Plumbville has been doing a great job rallying on a single point and has been able to stay alive long enough that it takes CK a few pushes of reinforcements to be able to push them off of a point. But you can see the 3rd stone is quickly taken out. I think that was the left side stone. So the 2 right side stones are up. Looks like there are some Plumbville defenders that are going to set up a modest defense, maybe a spike trap on this 3rd stone. I think that maybe there's a handful of people there on the 5th stone. Carpenter looking like he's hanging back, making sure no one sneaks around. We're going to follow the action here at the 3rd stone, though. Nice job by Coco to thin the ranks there. Coco doing a lot of damage, creating room for Revenge and Shroud to get 1 push. Plumber takes them both out, but is quickly dispatched. Omek now on the stone, getting a 2nd push. Alaric following up. Everyone on CK. They may die, but they're each getting a push on that stone. So you can see a couple of the less than full stones pushes. See, maybe requiring more than the normal 3. They didn't let that bar fill enough, but I imagine this 3rd stone has got to be really close to falling. If anyone on CK can get a push, you can see, nice job by Omic trying there now. CK trying to create space to the stone. With 2 minutes left, they're going to get another 30 seconds. Stomping, trying to get in there, making another push. Nildane, another push. Nildane finally successful. So death by 1,000 cuts to that stone. CK really utilizing teamwork to make sure everyone got some pushes on that stone. So here we are with 2 minutes left. We're going to see, can PV keep enough reinforcements and keep enough space from that stone to keep CK from advancing to the last stage. Barriers being put out relatively far, trying to create a little bit of space for some of the Plumbville defenders. One of the engineers, Drover, no, I don't know, that was a Javelin player, burnt by a fire pot. Another person bought down, taken out by the fire pot. I think this is just people not maybe paying attention and kind of falling back into it, because that fire pot really is going to make it hard for the attackers. This might be the strategy. Yeah, we're going to die, but it'll keep people away from us as we push the stone. So Omek is burning to death as he gets a push on the stone. Nice job, though, with 1 minute. I think CK is going to need a few more pushes depending on how long they have at the stone. Plumbville, the falling on the stone. Was that Marcer? I can't tell. 17 Sanctus, I think, pushing. Revenge now getting a good push on the stone. So again, nice job by CK. They had less than a minute. All of them understanding objective play more important than personal statistics. So they get the job done, and you can see here with 7 minutes and 20 seconds, this is the time that these competitive clans use for the last phase. Anyone who's played this in a pub knows that when the defense does as well as they did on the stones, the attacking team really will have less than 4 minutes on this stage. When they do well, they have as much as 5. But you can see that, I think, based on history, has been a bit easy for the attacking team. For the defending team, rather, when there's such little time. So Plumbville going to have to survive here for 7 minutes, but it's been done. When you have these two teams who are playing at this high level, the individuals that are the Druids are often the people that finished really, really high on the scoreboard, so they're going to be very skilled individually. Here's a nice push, though, by CK, using the fire pots to try and create some space. It looked like they were trying to do some damage, perhaps, to the banner. The banner is really a key part of success for the defense. Does look like one of the heretics has fallen. We're going to do our best to follow the action. It's really hard with so many objectives running around here. So nice banner distribution using a little bit of the cover provided by these environmental stones here. Most of the... Yep, it looks like all of the Druids are rocking heavy shields. So you can see very interesting strategy. The Druids opting to go max defense, giving them a little bit of stamina. Fortunately, I don't think that worked for whoever that was. He did get bullied, the Birdman. Not sure who that was, though, unfortunately. Let's see if we can follow Plunger Jockey, who is the Deer Man. He is being harassed by... Who's that, 17? Who is that? Wow, he is taken out by Cryptid Anomaly. So these heretics are quickly falling. Let's see if we can get back to one of them. Should be able to go back. So Plumber, bloodied. Looks like all the banners have been taken down. He's dodging the fire. He does get a healing pack from one of the man-at-arms players, but really, really low on health. You can see there is 2 more heretics, so it looks like maybe they're down to the last 3. Plumber, though, really slowly regaining his health. Good job by CK to do everything they can to keep these heretics, these VIPs, healed up. So nice job. Uh-oh. One of the VIPs is now on fire, is being harassed by who is the spear player here? Stompin'. I wonder who that is. Cryptid anomaly. Let's see if we can get to... Can we get back to the heretics? Sorry. Come on, Torn Banner. Give me a bit. Okay, so Plumber's still alive. It looks like it's those same 3. Plumber. Who else is... can we get to the other ones? It only goes to Plumber. Isn't that weird? Okay, Carpenter, Plumber. So Carpenter actually doing pretty well. He's alive, running around with the mace. So doing a good job kind of blending in. Playing very defensive, using that jab to interrupt the attack. So with 3 minutes left, you can see if this had been a normal pub map, defense would have already won. However, they still must survive for another 2 minutes and 50 seconds. But these heretics doing a good job. You can see now PV has reestablished control of this area with these banners. Plumber now is going to slowly get healed up. Who's the other druid here? Plumber 10x. So we have Plumber 10x, and Carpenter. The real core of the Plumbville Plumbers. Now all orbiting this banner. And I believe Plumber and Plumber 10x almost totally healed out. One of the banners does eventually expire, though. You can see there's another banner here. That banner expired. So down to their last banner. Oh, another banner has been placed by the electrician. So all of these blue-collar warriors really looking out for each other. Carpenter, as he walks by the banner that does fall, this 4th and final banner is still around. Here comes the push by CK. Looks like they're trying to advance. They don't want to advance too quickly and burn out before they can make it to the heretics. Nice job, though. Stomping, Shroud, a few people. 17 taken out. The main body of the defense. I don't know. Oh, there goes another heretic. I think Plumber 10x. Plumber is down. I think Carpenter is now the last heretic. He is running for his life, surrounded by CK. CK finally takes out the final heretic with less than 2 minutes left. Nice round by CK. Hard-fought defense by the Plumbville Plumbers. You can see the final score, 524-496. Here is the scoreboard. Nice performances by both teams. Plumber 10x leading the scoreboard for Plumbville. Coco leading the scoreboard for Kartel. We are on, I think, to the 4th and final round. We're going to see here if they're going to do another round. I think they are. I think people are geeked up here now. It is 2-1. Plumbville.
Two to 1v.
Oops, that was supposed to be
PV.
All right, so final chance here to get your beverage Zamboni. If we have another round 4 sponsor, now's the time.
The raid on Aberfell.
Round 4 just underway.
Tonight's fourth is sponsored by bacon. I mean, it's bacon.
And this bacon is fresh from Aberfell Farms. Our bacon has anus.
Conquer the Highlands and destroy the heretics' ancient stones.
So CK looking like they're going to bring out.
It just tastes better when you know it's stolen pork.
Free tastes better. Free tastes better. So I'm not sure what's happening here. So Plumbville now on attack. Carpenter very quickly pushing to the back left with several other of the
Better
Plumbville
than free range,
attackers
it's all free bacon.
moving forward.
Free range.
Okay, I've seen a strategy like this before where it looks as though... Okay, so this was a strategy that we used in the League Wars. And so what the strategy is going to get the pigs just in the vicinity, right? All of these pigs, Plumbville is moving to scoring position. So even if they lose the fight, all they really have to do is win a team fight, and they're going to have access to all these pigs. So you can see Plumbville doing things on both sides. I think CK picking up on it on this right side. Plumbville not getting the pigs as close to the ship as on the other side here, but we're going to see if this approach pays dividends as the time is on their side. You can see, here we go. Here now, CK able to win the fight on this side. Here come the wave of bacon flying to the ship. They're going to be eating good tonight. Win or lose, all of that bacon getting loaded on board here. So this is an actually very nicely performed tactic. You can see now all of the pigs have been loaded on this side. The bar over 50% full. So now Plumbville only needing to focus on one side of the boat to score the remaining pigs. So nice job so far by Plumbville to execute their strategy. I'm not sure who. I think Santa's on the team, and he was definitely involved. So I don't know if he's calling the shots here, but nice job. Here we go as Plumbville is able to secure the other side. Here comes the flow of pigs and
Canada.
old men on the boats. Textbook play by Plumbville. Here comes Ratman trying to stop the last Anus to make it through. What a throw, though. What a pass. You saw the pig skin was passed to the other CK team member who is able to secure the touchdown
I don't think
of
I'd
the
ever
pig
hear
on
comes the flow
the
of pigs and old men.
on
was a
the
wild Hail Mary pig.
hey, it's chivalry too. It's all about pigs and old men. So nice job by Plumbville. I think that was about as solid a strategy as you can have on phase 1. I think everyone should remember that when they play pub lobbies. Just get those pigs in scoring position, those old men in scoring position, and eventually you will load them on your ship to victory. Those old men are actually butchers, so they will butcher the pigs, and everyone will be eating bacon, pig lips, and pig anus, also known as chitlins, tonight. So it looks like PV managing to light the tower on the left side. You can see though CK using the barriers to create a little bit of room for defuse duty. Ratman with the double layer barrier ready to defuse. On this left side, you can see here Michael, fan favorite Michael, staying out of view, kind of defusing, using his brain to be in defuse position. So here we go. Looks like they have a second. So it looks like we're going to run 2 engineers as CK here, and they're going to do a similar strat. You can see the barriers creating space for defusers. So if Plumbville wants to secure these towers, they're going to have to not only light the fuse, but they're going to have to push around these barriers and prevent the defuse. So you can see both teams doing a nice job. Hemorrhoid here trying to push through the middle, maybe get some damage on any potential defusers, creating sort of a flank position. Nice push here by PV as they've lit this right side fuse. Don't know. Yeah, okay, it looks like... yeah, I think... Who was that? Maybe Larcer? Someone defused. So, again, these barriers on the right side really making it easy for CK to defuse every time Plumbville lights either side. You can see those barriers protect from fire, so Ratman's still able to kind of defuse as needed. Plumbville now pushing this right side. This seems to be their preference to kind of control this space here. They get the fuse lit, but we're going to see here Eruption falling, but falling into position to actually be able to stop the person defusing. So nice job. That actually worked out in their favor. This is going to stay lit, so they lighted enough times to blow up the tower. Nice job by Plumbville, solving the riddle that was those barrier defuse areas set up by CK engineers. So looks like the engineers are now going to pivot to create a wall right around the halfway of the circle. If you can see that circle outline here, created by the houses and the natural hill, that is the objective area. So the flagpole is pretty much at the center of the circle. So again, this point is all about which team can sustain bodies within the objective area longer, and that flag will shift to reflect which team has more numbers, and the bar will start to fill if Agatha controls the hamlet here. So nice job by CK to kind of patrol the perimeter here. They're very quickly falling on any of the attackers as they try to advance past that halfway point, that imaginary line created by the barriers. Nice job here by Carpenter with that one-handed hammer, again choosing to use the shield on his back. Very nice job. That speed, very hard to handle, taking out 2 defenders, now rotating back to his line. You can see Shark trying to do some damage, outranging that hammer with the Executioner Axe, but he does fall to Plunger Jockey. Plunger Jockey has now joined the rest of the team. You can see the barriers now a little bit more haphazard as that center line has fallen. You can see the engineers trying to buy a little bit more space here with these barriers, but it looks as though Agatha does have control of the hamlet as that white lion can be seen proudly displayed on that field of blue. Denizen trying to create more space. Can he push that front line back with the rest of PV to slowly push them out of the objective area, trying to take advantage of their numbers, still sort of securing control. You can see here comes the Mason defense. I don't know if they're going to have enough numbers alive. PV doing a good job not pushing too far. Here comes, though, a nice push by the Masons. If this doesn't change, though, soon, I don't think it's going to. This looks like the Masons' best chance to change things. But it does not look like it's going to happen. You can see lots of fights all over the place. Oh, wait, I was wrong. The Masons do control the point. I thought perhaps they hadn't done it, but it was right in front of my eyes. It didn't even register. It changed the defense. So nice job by CK bringing it back from the brink. However, it might be short-lived as Agatha, with that reinforcement wave, reestablishes control. So we are on to the stone stage, the second to last stage. This is going to be a critical moment for CK. Can they defend that second stone? Right now, Plumbville just slowly they're closing that vice grip. Their attack is just slowly advancing to the final objective. Let's take a look at, the kill difference, very, very close. Only 7 kills in favor of the attackers. Does look like there might be a small discrepancy in numbers. I'm not sure what's happening. But no one's complaining, so I'm not going to. It does look as though CK, though, is going to counter push on this right side, being a little bit more aggressive with their defensive tactics. Looks like they're going to try and deny access and space to the second stone as much as possible. Plumber, though, sneaking in there. Wow, I thought he was going to be able to actually push the stone. The first stone does fall, adding 30 more seconds to the clock. So we're right about similar pace, maybe, with 7 minutes left in the round or in the phase. Very impressive barriers. You can see it looks as though, have they added a third engineer? I think they might have added a third engineer to the defense. Look at all of those barriers. So at least 3 engineers for CK. They are really doubling down on the space creation. Nice positioning. We're going to see, though, Hemorrhoid and Sheriff Denizen push through the barriers. There is a couple of Agatha players in scoring position. Nice job by Holy Armor physically preventing access to the stone, along with Stompin'. Plumber 10x with that heavy mace, trying to thin out the defensive ranks. Who snuck through there? That was a nice job by whoever that was. Dread sneaks through, gets a push. So does Sheriff. So PV already getting a couple of pushes on the stone. Valiant effort by, I think it was K-Money, but with just 2 minutes, they only needed about 2 minutes to do that. I think they were about 7. They got an extra 30 seconds. So it was about 1:30. So very impressive. Plumbville continues to advance towards the Druids. You can see Plumbville now taking a bit more of a lead on the kill count, up to about 25, where it was very even a minute ago. Plumber 10x and Stompin' leading each team respectively on the scoreboard with points. Plumbville Sheriff taking the attention of the primary defender. I think that was Dosis. Now Union Rep and what was that? Dread. Was that Dread? No, Plumber taking care of the 4th stone. So stones 3 and 5 still up. Looks like CK opting to set up majority of their defensive line. You can see all of those barriers now, creating some obstacles for the attackers, although it looks like it's just creating a little bit of confusion. Denizen, Toilet Man sneaking through, getting a couple pushes, that fire, taking out Toilet Man, but Denizen healing up, might have returned to position a little bit too quickly. Toilet Installer falls in to take his spot with Sheriff. They're going to get that third stone knocked over. So now Plumbville advancing on this right side, seemingly advancing unfettered as they go to the fifth and final stone. Plenty of time. We're going to see CK looking like once again they're very disciplined engineer play. You know, they are consistently putting up barriers, banners. They look very impressive. Although I think the rest of the team is a little bit distracted. I think the main way to take advantage of these walls is when you have the rest of the team kind of fighting around them, kind of augmenting them, and fighting, kind of using them as a way to drain some of the stamina for attackers, right? So nice job. Like, that's a good play by 17. Moving in front of the wall. You almost want to protect your barriers. He is, though, struck down as we have attackers on both sides of the wall now. Bot down and PV Architect making it through. Michael doing a good job taking out at least one of the pushers. Does eventually get taken out by Plunger Jockey, who falls on the stone. Gets that final push in. So we're going to see here how much time does Plumbville have. So 7.5. It's only about 10 seconds more, I think, than what CK had. So CK now falling back. Let's see who some of the druids are. We have... Why is it so hard to find the druids on this thing? So, Kurash, or whatever this guy's name is. Alaric, Cryptid Anomaly, CK Michael, Stompin', and Nildane are all the druids. So, some heavy hitters. Fan favorite Michael. Pay attention, Michael fans. He's one of the druids. We're going to see if... Let's follow Michael for a while. Oops, we just had him. Follow Michael. There he is. Swinging that war club. He is the deer heretic. Nice job by Michael. Keeping the offense at bay there as they attack. Falling back to help his fellow heretics. It does look like most of them are okay. I think, one of them took, actually that one looks a little bit burned, but they look pretty healthy. You can hear the growls. Oh, the goat man is bleeding, but still alive. So Michael continuing to kind of avoid a lot of attention, using that war club, swinging around defense. Nice job working with his teammates. Really punishing those knights. That blunt war club and its speed. Look, you can see this is now the third knight. They're just getting engulfed by the CK defense. So 1 minute down, 5:46 left. Well, maybe 2 minutes. Michael now rotating back, kind of tending to the line here, looking for what area needs some defense. Nice job as he rotates back. So Michael doing a nice job. We're going to see Nildane here. Nildane is the burnt boar, rocking the messer. Also looking like he's got a lot of his health. Stomping with the messer. Looks like he's going to engage. Takes another fire pot, maybe getting a little bored, overextending. He does fall back, though. Lost only about 20% of his health. All the heretics still up. He's going to immediately fall back. You can see all five of those heretics fighting together. The main advantage of the heretics, right, are that they can't damage each other. So they can all sit there and left click to their heart's delight and just become really like a team of... like a team shredder, right? Like a 5-person shredder there. I do think some of these heretics take some damage. You can see this guy, Omega, whatever his name is. A little bit burned, but still alive. So CK, the Druids, really doing an outstanding job. Very nice placement of the banner. I don't even think PV has seen it. So that is some veteran placement there. Keeping the heretics alive. They've done really good work. They've burnt off 3.5 minutes. The Druids are attracted to the fire, though. I have to say that. Plenty of them have taken some... Alaric, though, now might be the first heretic under extreme duress. He is Pivoting around the banner, though, you can see he slowly is regaining his posture, which means his health is slowly out of the danger zone. He's about 40% there. Nice job, Elric. Cryptid Anomaly with the Highland Sword, using the barrier. Looks like is there like any sort of projectile? Oh, there is an archer. So there is an archer trying. See that archer back there. So Cryptid Anomaly doing a good job dodging whoever that crossbow is on PV. So Cryptid now hanging in the back, but choosing to kind of keep some of the attackers at bay here. Michael now forced to defend himself close quarters as he is surrounded by his teammates, with a couple attackers trying to sneak in there. Heretic still all alive, so very impressive display for CK so far with 2 minutes 50 seconds left. Nildane at about 50%, Stompin at about 60%. So good job by all of the heretics. Oh, looks like one of them finally died. Let's see if we can figure out who it is. It might have been Alaric. So Karak is still alive. He's actually doing really well. So nice banner there by CK. Michael's still alive, although very heavily damaged. Continues to do some work with that War Club. Using those. Oh, he out of the zone too long. Michael might not have paid attention. Is forced to commit suicide. Unfortunate play. We're going to switch here to Coco with one-handed. Catches fire, doing a lot of damage, but needs to be a little bit careful. Falls back to, does not see that Executioner axe, but able to rotate back out. Nice banners now. Coco's trying to recover some of that health, so nice job. Put away that shield, gets a little bit of protection from anyone trying to shoot them in the back. Let's see if we can get back to one of these other Omic there, kind of taking hits for some of his heretic friends. I do think another druid has fallen, though. Let's see if we can get back to the druids. I'm having a hard time finding the druid. Alaric down, so he was one of the druids. Coco's still alive. I do think they might be down to only 2 or 3 druids. So Coco desperately trying to rotate back to some of the fellow defenders. Takes a shot in the back. I think Coco may be the last. Might be the last heretic. Coco goes down. Plumbville utilizing almost all of the time, but takes care of business. Very nice job, CK. Those heretics stayed alive quite some time. Could not survive, though, the full 7.5 minutes. I think, that was picture perfect. I don't know if they just maybe lost some of their focus near the end, or as some of them got picked off. But nice pressure by Plumbville. Oh, I didn't get the scoreboard in time. Apologies. But thank you for joining. Very nice middleweight battle. PV does take it 3-1, but very close matches, all 4 rounds. Thank you to both teams for putting on a great show. I think this was another fantastic Friday night fights. I appreciate everyone viewing today. I am going to raid out and then post the VOD on Twitch and upload it to YouTube. But very nice job, both teams. I hope you all enjoyed it. See you again, I believe, maybe next weekend. If I can do Friday, I believe we will have a CQ Equilibrium, maybe heavyweight battle. I don't know. So stay tuned, but thank you again for joining us. This has been Friday Night Fights.
Battle cries echo through the night. Armored knights ready for the fight. Steel on steel, sparks
right.